Reports this morning that Chinese tech company Huawei is ramping up to test its newest and most powerful AI chip, which would be a competitor to chips made by Nvidia.
Huawei is challenging Nvidia with a new chip for artificial intelligence, according to the Wall Street Journal. Huawei has reportedly told potential clients that the chip is comparable to Nvidia's H100.
What if I told you that Huawei has just turned the global tech game on its head again, with a move that the US never saw coming? A secret AI chip factory has just gone live in China, and it's powerful, fast, and completely out of Washington's reach. This isn't just about chips. It's about controlling the future of artificial intelligence and the world. So, buckle up. Huawei has crushed the old rules, and the chip war may already be over. When the US blacklisted Huawei back in 2019, many believed it was the end for China's most ambitious tech giant. Access to advanced chip-making tools was cut off. Companies like Nvidia and TSMC were ordered to stop collaborating with Huawei. But behind closed doors, a completely new strategy was already in motion, one not reliant on the West. Fast forward to 2025, and Huawei has done the unthinkable. It has quietly opened a fully operational AI chip factory in mainland China, powered by domestic talent and backed by billions in government support. No US technology, no Western oversight, just pure Chinese engineering. The factory is reportedly producing high-performance chips based on 7-nanometer technology and custom neural processing units, NPUs, optimized for large-scale AI workloads like generative models and smart infrastructure. But how did Huawei pull this off? The secret lies in strategic partnerships. Huawei didn't go at it alone. It partnered with SMIC, China's leading semiconductor manufacturer, to create joint development centers that operated under the radar while the US focused on enforcing sanctions. Engineers in Shenzhen and Shanghai were quietly rewriting the rules of chip architecture. Rather than chasing the bleeding-edge 3-nanometer technology, Huawei focused on efficiency. Their new chips don't try to beat Nvidia's H100 in raw specs. Instead, they optimize power usage, heat distribution, and edge computing for use in localized AI factories, 5G infrastructure, and even military-grade drone networks. The result? A chip that's good enough and entirely independent. It doesn't need ASML's EUV machines or ARM's licensing. This is self-reliant AI computing born in China, for China, and now being exported to allied nations, all under the radar. And here's the kicker. The factory's capacity is scalable. Industry insiders estimate it could reach 2 million wafers per year by 2026. That's enough to power thousands of AI data centers, communication towers, and autonomous platforms without a single US-made component. In short, Huawei didn't just survive, it adapted. And now it's quietly taking the lead in a tech race America thought it had already won. While Nvidia continues to dominate headlines with its powerhouse H100 and upcoming Blackwell chips, Huawei has chosen a different path. Quieter, stealthier, and potentially more disruptive. The new chip coming out of Huawei's secret AI factory isn't trying to beat Nvidia in raw TFLOPs, it's designed to outmaneuver, not overpower. Let's break it down. At the heart of Huawei's strategy is the Ascend AI series, which is reportedly upgraded with a custom NPU core, internally called Phoenix. While the official specs are tightly guarded, leaked benchmarks show a 40% improvement in energy efficiency over Huawei's own Ascend 910B, with integrated tensor cores designed for real-time inference and edge computing. That's not just a technical achievement, it's a statement. Huawei isn't chasing Nvidia. Instead, they're redefining what matters in AI. Here's what makes it different. 1. Built for autonomy. Huawei's chip is optimized to operate independently of US software ecosystems like CUDA. It runs on Huawei's own AI stack, including the MindPore framework, a full-stack platform designed for machine learning, vision, NLP, and more. In other words, while Nvidia locks developers into its ecosystem, Huawei is creating a parallel AI universe. 2. Modular and scalable. Unlike Nvidia's GPUs that require massive server farms and centralized infrastructure, Huawei's solution supports distributed AI, which is ideal for edge deployments in smart cities, telecommunications, surveillance, and military AI. This matters in places where power, latency, and national control are crucial. 3. Already in use. According to reports from China's National AI Committee, early versions of the chip are already powering over 300 pilot projects across the country, from autonomous ports in Shenzhen to intelligent traffic systems in Chongqing. In short, it's not theoretical, it's live. Huawei is creating an entire shadow market for AI chips, one that doesn't rely on the US dollar, doesn't depend on TSMC, and doesn't care about Washington's sanctions. This is the chip of a multipolar world, one that values independence, resilience, and speed over raw computational power. While Nvidia builds bigger and faster chips for data centers, Huawei is quietly embedding AI everywhere, in places the West can't even see.
If you found this video insightful, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned for more updates and content. We've got plenty more coming your way.
Huawei's chip factory isn't just making chips, it's part of a vertically integrated supply chain inside China's borders. From raw silicon to packaging, testing, and deployment, the entire process happens without crossing a single Western checkpoint. That's a nightmare scenario for Washington and a wake-up call for global investors. How is this even possible? It's the result of strategic duplication over the last 5 years. China has quietly replicated every link in the semiconductor chain, not with one-to-one replacements, but with good enough domestic alternatives. Design software has been replaced by local EDA tools like Empyrean and Zepic. Lithography has shifted to DUV tech rather than EUV. Huawei and SMIC are ramping up 7 nanometers, even experimenting with 5 nanometer production, bypassing TSMC. Packaging and testing are now handled by Tongfu Microelectronics and other rising Chinese players. What once required an army of global partners, Huawei now accomplishes with a national tech alliance and massive government support. Everything, from AI training to 5G deployment, is being rebuilt for domestic survivability. This isn't just about Huawei surviving sanctions, it's about China thriving on its own terms. This shift is also a major blow to Nvidia. Nvidia has long relied on Chinese demand, with China accounting for over 25% of Nvidia's data center revenue before the restrictions. But now, with Huawei's AI chips entering production, that door is closing quickly. Not just in China, but in countries aligned with China like Russia, Iran, and parts of Southeast Asia, who are already evaluating Huawei's chips as politically safe alternatives. If Huawei's AI factory becomes the blueprint, we may be looking at a future where chip dominance no longer depends on cutting-edge specs, but on resilience, adaptability, and political alignment. That's the new supply chain logic. And as Huawei's AI chip factory scales up, U.S. policymakers are scrambling to contain the fallout. But the question now isn't just about stopping Huawei, it's whether the U.S. can prevent the world from following Huawei's model. Since blacklisting Huawei in 2019 and expanding restrictions on advanced chip exports in 2022, Washington has doubled down with sweeping bans on AI hardware sales to China. Nvidia was blocked from exporting its A100 and H100 chips, forcing the company to create a weaker custom China GPU line, the H20, which many analysts see as a stopgap. But here's the twist. Instead of slowing Chinese AI development, these moves accelerated it. Cut off from Western technology, Huawei was forced to innovate independently, and it succeeded.
If you found this video insightful, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned for more updates and content. We've got plenty more coming your way.